All right. So my last connection was a little funny style. So hopefully this is better. I know you'll come in as you come in, but and willfully you can hear me actually. So this time, let me know if you can hear me. Hopefully it won't be buffering like it was before. I got so many different connections and so much technology around me. But yeah, just let me know in the chat if you can hear me clearly or if I'm doing the robot thing. All right. Peace, Suan. I'm sorry. I always put an S where there is no S every time I say your name. I apologize. But like I said, just let me know if you can hear me clearly. I'm not really going to be saying that much, but the little bit I do say, I guess it would be good to hear. Okay, thank you, Suan. Yeah, so I was just sharing that, before with, the community segments we used to do is much better. Okay, cool. Thank you, Anisha. Um, so I'll just use this connection in the dawnings. Um, with the community segments, we used to do like a dawning devotional around seven something. I don't even remember the time. It's been so long at this point. Peace, everyone. Good. You can hear me clearly. Push Doctor. Thank you. And peace, Maroon Beauty. Um, but like I was just saying, it may not have come through clear, so I'm just going to say it again. Um, for many people who have been kind of reliant on certain systems of control who have given you the impostering notion that they have power, they have control, I think many of you now are waking up to the fact that um, the folks that are kind of locking things down and controlling things and shifting schedules, we're going to open here, we're going to close there, you're going to do it this way, don't really know so much what they're doing, and just kind of in the dark as much as anybody else. And as a result, it's affecting the way that you move. It's affecting your movement. So, I've been thinking about doing this for a minute, for a while now, and I've been saying, I need to establish that dawning piece again because for me, every day I get up pretty early, comparatively early to most people. Um, and I do that because I like to say what my day is going to be before the messages start coming in, and I have to check my emails and the phone calls start and things like that, and places open up that I need to call here, I need to run an errand there, or this or that. For me, I like to command my day or charge my day or direct my day. Um, However we're gonna put it. One of those is gonna be the title for these segments. Peace, brother Vermont. You know, um, so it's important, as we get up, that we establish what our day is going to be. We construct it, as opposed to letting it unfurl and unwind in front of us based upon what we're passively creating. That when we wake up, we decide this is what it's going to be. So that, of course, hey, Layatha, peace, 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 peace. Thank you for letting me know you can hear me. Um, but yeah, we have to actively say today is boom and plant OG peace. Um, I didn't forget you sent me a message and I just saw it. I know it's crazy because I looked at the date and it was a while ago. But I didn't forget it. My IG is so locked up that I can't really do much, you know. So they still got me on, I guess, timeout or whatever because I don't know. I probably won't. I don't even know if I'm going to keep using IG. All these like shutdowns and you blocked and you can't see shit. I respect it. I mean, I respect it because these are free platforms. So, who are we to say it's free? You gave it to me for free, and I can even make money off it. There's people making millions of dollars off of these platforms. who am I to say you should run it like this? You should do, So it is what it is. No biggie. Um, but yeah, we gotta direct the day, man, because there's so many things that are happening right now, and they're happening very rapidly, and a lot of us are not starting our 24 hours off, are not starting our days off really with any kind of prophetic insight. Like looking at, okay, well, what are the things that typically happen? What are the things that people are trying to make happen in my world and in my day? And how can I speak to that immediately? It's not so much about ritual. You can make it about ritual. Well, I light my candles in the dawning. I burn my incense. That's cool. That's cool. But remember that the day unfurls and the world is created through speech, through sound design, right? So it comes apart. There's certain things that signify the new day. There's certain things that make the day, just like there's certain things that make the night. Just seeing the moon and it getting dark doesn't make it nighttime. There's certain elements that also say, okay, now it's night, and some of those elements are the creatures that come out. The rhythm and the tone of the earth will make it nighttime. So it's the same thing in the daytime, right? When you start hearing those birds speaking, those birds chirping, and they're using different frequencies to make colors, chip, 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 and they're making they're making things lighter with every chirp. They're lightening things up and making the shapes that make the day and things like that. You have to do the same thing, as opposed to being just a slave to nature, or a slave to social clocks, or a slave to political clocks. You have to be about your agenda. As soon as you wake up, hey, boom, okay, today, this is what it's going to be. Any wickedness that's going to come my way, pushing it to the side. You start speaking what you want that day to be. And that's something that we're going to do going forward. You know what I mean? I know it's so necessary, because even but when I work with clients, sometimes by the time they get to me, they're exhausted. Especially if it's a late session, if it's like 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. or 5 p.m., which is one of the reasons I don't really do too late sessions anymore. I used to let people, because I know people got, tight schedules and stuff like that. So I would sometimes do sessions 7, 8 o'clock at night. I stopped doing that. You know, um, I need to get to you before they get to you. So I need to get to you early. But it's the same thing for yourself. You got to get to yourself before you let others get to you. You decide what it's going to be first. When you wake up, you say, you know what, anything that's gripped on me is off. Any challenges, and I'm not going to start preaching, but I'm just saying, like, any challenges that, you can foresee what it's going to be. And then you can cut the road in front of you. I'm going to cool this road in front of me. There's going to be no warps. It's going to be all green lights. Um, and in doing that, you're establishing an active working consciousness for the day. So even if something comes in front of your path that may be problematic, there'll be that voice already reminding you, no, I said today is going to be a peaceful day. So what's this? Because if I didn't say it, what the heck is this? Who's who's saying that I'm now going to engage in road rage? Who's saying that? Like, who's going to make me do that? Who's saying that I'm now going to get angry at my employer and quit? Who's saying that I'm going to have an argument with my spouse? Like, who? Because I didn't say that. That's not what I created for today. So it's important when you're able to do that. When you're able to wake up and say, nope, this is what I got for you. I don't have that energy for you, because today I allocated this energy for today. So it's called charging. Well, I'm calling it charging the day. Peace, brother Antonio. We could call it commanding the day. We're taking command of our day. That's all it is. We're going to start doing that. That's more important than, I know you all got esoteric questions and metaphysical questions and things like that, but you know, you got to command what your reality is going to be, and you have to construct it based on your vision. And you have to do that first before you start digging into pots and into, well, this one told me this, and I was walking, and the wind told me this to do that, and I went by the water, and Oshun told me this thing, and I was walking near the train tracks at the police station, and Ogun told me that thing. So what? What did you tell yourself? Do you have a message for yourself? Do you have an insight in? Do you have an insight for yourself for today? When you woke up today, did you say, okay, today is going to be this type of movement? Am I moving closer to my purpose today, or am I waiting just to? Well, I'm just waiting to see what happens. Is it a durational kind of thing? Some people take a lot of pride in that, waiting to see what happens. I'm just going with the flow, just waiting to see what happens. You're a slave to the flow. You can ride a current and at the same time have a rudder that directs you to the direction that you want to go, but using the natural propulsion of the current. That's a normal thing. You don't have to fight the current to work with the current. And that's an important lesson for you to understand in spiritual sciences. When you're doing a lot of fighting, it's a lot of times because you're not working with the natural, sensible current of your life. You're doing things that are backwards and against natural culture, against natural law, and now you're fighting so much that your whole spiritual experience becomes a fight. You know, um, but I'm telling you, before things get loud, as we go through our day, things get louder and louder and louder and louder. But before things get loud, you be the booming voice that says, "This is what it is today." You know, I know that I'm dealing with an illness. I know I'm dealing with a sickness. But you know what? Today, I'm gonna get a little bit better. Some of that sickness, some of that illness is gonna be pushed out of me today. I may have a loved one that I'm not speaking to. I'm upset with it. Today we're gonna inch a little closer. We may not, like text each other or whatever, but we're gonna inch a little closer together. Today is gonna be a movement towards reconciliation, even if it's happening in an unseen way. It's gonna be a small movement towards reconciliation, right? So we're gonna start doing that, and we're gonna start doing that pretty much every dawning, right? At least until I don't do it anymore. Because I think you all, those of you who've been following for a while, I think you've picked up on the pattern. I do something for a while, then I stop. You know, um, I should not be your constant, and I should not be your go-to. For what? You're being given the tools. So this is another tool. It's kind of like starting a lawnmower. I'm gonna pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it, prime the carburetor, pull it, maybe spray some starter fluid in there, maybe clean the spark plug off, and until you can, boom, you're going and you can get going on your own. And then you should be spreading that ember to someone else. Pull other people in. Hey, let's start our day like this. Let's decide what our day is going to be. You know, that also requires that I have a battle plan, right? I know, if you read my book Noir Mail, I speak about battle plans as opposed to task lists. A lot of times we have task lists, but task lists are very, very passive because even the term task is not really a pleasurable term to have to hear. Um, but when you have a battle plan, like for me, in my, I mean, I use technology for everything. So I got, gizmos and gadgets all over. And like right now, I got three screens in front of me. Um, but I utilize battle plans, right? So on top of all of my for the day, I have a yearly battle plan. I have a long term battle plan which covers 3 to 5 years. I have a monthly battle plan. I have a battle plan for every strong, or for some of you may know as weak, and then I have a daily battle plan, right? So I mean, you don't have to be me. I have to be hyper organized because I have a lot of different things that I'm doing at the same time, and I do a lot of code switching. One day or 1 hour, I'm a babalao, and then the next hour I'm a therapist, and then the next hour I'm an entrepreneur, then the next hour I'm father, next hour I'm mate, and the next hour it just you know I'm all over the place with that. So I have to be really organized, to keep my clock right, right? So for me, battle plans are very important. Like I said, or you may call them task lists. I wouldn't know, because What are you battling? Right? You're battling procrastination. A lot of us suffer from procrastination. You're battling a lack of focus. You're battling generational curses. And that's why a lot of times you have to do so much extra stuff. You have to have a dawning, charge where I command a day, and it's because those curses are active already because they're generational. And the reason why you're struggling so bad, and so many of you are so alone, and so many of you feel like, man, every time I try to get something started, it just doesn't, it doesn't, follow through, or when I get something started, like I seem to lose focus or lose interest. I'm no longer excited about this thing I was once excited about. A lot of you go through those type of experiences because you're you're the first, you're the one, you're breaking a curse. So breaking a curse isn't as simply as just like, you know, um, I don't know, punching through a paper bag. Especially when it's a generational curse, you're gonna be on your own. You're gonna go through a door by yourself, and it's gonna be a heavy door that's rusted shut. Ain't nobody been going through it. Imagine a big heavy steel door. Ain't nobody went through it. Let's just say your family's been screwed up for 600 years. That's pretty realistic, right? Because I know you have the idea a lot of time. Well, back in Africa, you were doing craziness too. So let's say the family's been screwed up for 600 years, and now I come forth, and it feels like a battle, constant battle daily. It is a constant battle daily. But you know what, DD Alchemy, you may win or lose a couple of battles. It's okay. You know, have that's why it's good to have a long-term battle plan. You may be engaged in something. Okay, today was theirs. Today you got that one. Maybe I was on the checkout line in the store, and I took my cart and hit somebody who was saying something stupid. All right, I lost that one today, but the war. Yeah, today may be yours, but tomorrow will be mine. And you say that every day. It feels like a battle today. Yeah, hey, you got that off today. Touche. As they say. Or you have to look at it like chess. Sometimes you're playing chess with someone, and they make a move, and you're like, "Hmm, okay, all right, that's all." Huh? Okay. Give credit to your opponent. And you say, okay, but I'm gonna get you. But okay, nice move, right? So some days of that, some days of that. But like I was saying, it's that rusted heavy door, man, that has not been pushed open for 500, 600 years. Now you pop up, you got some consciousness, you got some know-how, and you start pushing on that door, and you say, "Man, this is hard. It's not moving." Well, you were designed and you were created artfully and purposefully to move that door. You can move that door, right? But every day you may inch it forward, and then some days you may say, "You know what? Let me spray it down with some rust penetrant or some WD-40 or some oil, right? And let me just let it soak. Today I don't. Today I'm not going to push on it. Today I'm just going to spray it and go do something else, right? Because we know that sometimes when you're pushing and pushing and pushing, and you're using less of this and more of your brawn, um, you're missing out on your actual gift. It's just like, I know I relate a lot of things to martial arts, but I'm sorry. For me, it's always martial arts or music. Um, but oh, give thanks. I forgot I had super chat. Give thanks for the super chat. You're the very first super chatter. I totally forgot that I set that up. What was I saying? So just like in the arts, we teach. Well, I teach. I don't know. Everybody teaches their own thing, but like especially if you're grappling. And this was a lesson that I used to have to get a lot because especially when I was younger, I've always been a strong person. I'll just say that. I'm not trying to sound braggadocious, but so, but that can be that can be a weakness. It could really be a weakness. Um, when I first started training in the arts, I was bigger and stronger than everyone. I was always on my calisthenics and even boxing before that. But I was always nice with my hands and definitely on my calisthenics and was big and and I would come in and just try to muscle people. I may not know all of that other stuff, but I know once I grab you, and people would use technique, and within a couple minutes have me balled up like a pretzel and tap it out. So I used to always have to hear you using too much strength, use more technique, and that transcends into so many areas of our lives. A lot of times we don't learn how to use strategy, so our battle is constantly waged with our inner strength, or it's waged with our inner tuition. But we don't use even a strategy of wordplay. Okay, I have to be to work at 8 a.m. Let's say, right? You tell I had a 9 to 5. I said 8 p.m. I have to. I think 9 to 5. You start around 8:39, something like that. I know the hours a little bit, right? So let's just say I have to be to work at 8:30. I have to be work at 9. So if I got to be to work at 9, let me wake up at 7:30. Give myself a half an hour to get ready, and maybe an hour to get to work or something like that. So your whole dawning is devoted to someone else's agenda and dream, as opposed to saying I have to be to work at 8. Let me wake up at 6. Let me wake up at 5:30, right? And let me own and command my day. So now whatever I'm doing for these people is an afterthought. And whatever I'm doing for these people is put into perspective of what it is that I'm already doing and what I'm already moving with, right? So one of the things like I've shared and I say to our new members, your job, your employer is your investor, nothing else. Just look at your employer as your investor, right? So you should have something else that you're working on. Now, to do that something else, you may need capital, right? So your employer decides to invest in you for your business. You see, your employer decides to invest in you for your actual business, whatever, whether it be candle making or I don't know. Maybe you want to, go to you want to get some training to be a paralegal, or you want to do property preservation services. You want to do landscaping. You want to do, I'm just going through. It could be a lot of different things. You want to be a welder. You want to, go to school for auto mechanics. Whatever it is, whoever decided to employ you at, Walmart, at the hospital, at the police station, you know, at the firehouse, at that corporation, at wherever it is, they decided to invest in you so you can pursue your entrepreneurial vision. You wake up saying that to yourself, not "Oh, I gotta go to work." That's not what you say. You wake up saying, "Oh, I gotta go see my investors." Love yourself enough to give to you first. And I know it's hard because, and I didn't mean for this to be this long, but this is the first one, so you know. um, but it's just a big thing now, man. I'm talking to so many different clients and working with so many people, and a lot have the same issue. They don't feel worthy of love, and as a result, they allow themselves to be abused by the clock of society, abused by the panics sent through society. We live in a time now where there's no type of even our comprehension of science is so low that anyone can jump on social media and start saying things to us and create a panic. You can have any celebrity say, "Oh, this is this, that," and then now there's a panic because we haven't loved ourselves enough to educate ourselves. We haven't considered ourselves worthy enough of love to wake up that extra hour early and say, I got to give to me first, beyond a beauty regimen, right? You know, we haven't loved ourselves enough to even do that. Say, no, 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 I got to feed this first. I need to work out first. Let me feed my body a little bit, get my body moving, get my body warmed up. Let me make the herbal teas that I want to make that are good for my system. Instead of getting some coffee so I could wake up for the job. You know, but let me feed myself first. Let me feed myself these good words. So that's why I said this is something we're going to do every day until, uh, you know, one of the things for me, I'll give you a little insight. I'm not good with routines. I'm really not good at all. You know, I always try and I can't. I have trouble keeping to a routine. I can do things in blocks. Like I've had relatives that have been like, "Hey, I love when you call me. I love talking to you. Call me every Sunday from now on. Let's talk every Sunday." And I'll do it for maybe 2 Sundays. And after that, like my life is just it's not that. What happened to you this Sunday? Oh, I forgot to tell you, I was flying out of the country. Yeah, I was on a plane. So I can do things at a clip, but I realize that that's the healthiest thing for me as well because I don't want to be a slave to any clock, not even the clock of the routine that I established for myself. I'm not going to be a slave to anything but my purpose, and the purpose is dynamic. So the purpose may require me to shift left or shift right or this, that. My purpose is not your purpose, and my purpose has nothing to do with you. Your purpose has nothing to do with me. Your purpose has nothing to do with your children. Your purpose has nothing to do with your community. Your purpose has nothing to do with your people. Your purpose has nothing to do with your family. Your purpose has only to do with you at the center of the universe. That's it. That's it. So when you start locking into other people's routines, you're feeding the movement of other people and boycotting and ignoring your purpose. And that even goes. I know I'm all over the place, but like I said, this is the first one, and I haven't done lives in a long time. I gotta work my joints out a little bit. I'm a little rusty. Um, but a lot of times people think that their purpose is wrapped up in the service that they provide to another person. Not at all. Your purpose is always wrapped around what you balance for yourself. Period. Even if you're coming and you're rebalancing ancestral karma, that's not your purpose. That's a reward or a default of whatever your purpose is or was. Because we always look at the ancestral pool as this big pool of people. That big pool is you. You know, it's you. So just as confused as you can be sometimes, your ancestors can be just as confused. Just as directionless as you feel sometimes, your ancestors are just as directionless sometimes. So ultimately, it's always going to come back to you. All right. So that's what I said. We're going to take this time in the dawning. We're going to charge our day. We're going to command our day. We're going to say this is what it's going to be today. Like I said, any maladies that we're dealing with, and we're going to get there. We got 30 people here, right? Because I didn't do any announcement or anything like that. So it'll be more because now, I wasn't even going to do it today because I actually was supposed to start yesterday. Um, I don't remember why I didn't do it yesterday. I don't even remember. I was probably doing my own devotion, doing something for myself, and I just the time slipped, and before it's too late now. So then I said, you know what? I'll do it next eighth day, and then just now I said, you know what? Just turn the camera on. Just do it. You don't feel like it right now. The eyes all puffy. Just do it. So that's why we're here. So yeah, like I'm saying though, but we're gonna start directing, commanding our day. And what I really would like some of you to do is to start writing down on paper what it is that your day is supposed to be. Just write it down on a piece of paper. Write down and on that top of the paper put battle plan. Battle plan, right? And just start. It could just be for the day, and it may be things like um, clean out the garage, or take a box from the garage. Boom, call my mother. You know, all of that is a part of your battle plan because anything that you're deciding to own and not automatically take on, as a result of the tenacity of fictitious authority, starts to open up. It starts to open this thing up. It starts to, it comes online, that first eye, it starts to open up. You see, when you start moving with that level of autonomy, especially if you're part of a community. So I know I got some new people on because I saw you, but within our community, when you, that's why I love a lot of times, we have different chat groups, and sometimes I see the messages and like early, like some of the brothers and sisters will, hey, good morning, everybody. You know, they're starting the day with each other as opposed to with people who they may not relate to. We're gonna start the day with each other. So like I said, man, I'm gonna give you something old school. And you're probably gonna think I'm saying this because I'm older, but just listen to what I'm saying. Treat yourself to a pencil. Just treat yourself to a pencil. I know you're gonna say he really mean to take digital notes because who gonna use it? I know what I'm saying. I'm a tech head. Get a pencil, right? And get yourself. You could brown paper bag is best, or papyrus paper if you want to get fancy with it. But if you're like, well, they don't have any papyrus paper where I live, okay, paper bag. You always got paper bags. And if you can't get a brown paper bag, which is the same thing as papyrus, by the way, it's the same thing. But if you can't get a brown paper bag, just get a piece of paper. Now you think I'm giving you some deep ritual. Not giving you a deep ritual, I'm giving you a powerful ritual. You write that battle plan on the top of that piece of paper, and you start writing out what it is that you're going to do today. You do that early, though. You don't do it at night, you do it early. You start to learn to get up with the sun. And let me tell you something that you could do. Stop with the sun. When the sun goes down, you chill out, chillax, you know, um, and you shift. That's when you cold shift. We'll get into that another time. But that piece of paper, you start writing out your battle plan, not your task list, because task lists are passive and you can do a task or not do a task. But when you're in a battle, when you're acknowledging, hey, I'm in a war, and I'm in a war for my mind, right? Because what's the war for? The war is up here. Battles are battle of the gods, right? Battle of the gods. The gods are fighting. The gods are in the air. And you know why? You know the battle is in the air because you're always caught up by what's in the air. Like, why do you think? And I think you've all probably figured this out by now that your phone is listening to you. You all know that by now, right? That's no longer a secret at this point. You talk about something on the phone, and then you start getting pop-ups and advertisements for that exact thing in your mail accounts and on your social media feeds. And you say, I was just talking about that. Are they listening to my conversation? Yes, you know that now. I mean, I think that case has been cracked already, right? But you got to remember, in a lot of traditions, that that adversary, or what they once called the accuser of the brethren, or within Islam, what they call the soft whisperer, he who has a soft whisper in the ear. You should do this, do that, do that, do that, do that, do that. Right? He moves through the air. He's the prince of the air. He's the prince of the air. So you think about this. When you sitting here on social media and you feeding into it, and you're like, I want this, I want money, I want this, I want this, I want this, and you putting it all out there, what does he start doing? He starts giving you illusions of fulfillment. I'm gonna give you that. You want a new car? I'm gonna give you a new car. You want a woman? I'm gonna give you a woman. You want a man? I'm gonna give you a man. You see, and all of your desires are being fulfilled by that soft whisperer. You see, so a lot of times we don't realize that the battle begins because we talk lower vibrations so much, and then we send it out through the air, and there's a ruler of the air. And that's, you think about your phones, everything. You got smart devices all over the place, right? Smart devices. What does it mean? It means it's intelligent. It uses, now they call it machine learning because everybody's heard of the term AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning. To me, that's even scarier. A machine, people get their fingers chopped off by machines. Um, they called them the machines in the Terminator, the machines. But anyway, Not to digress too far, but what you are putting out in the air is being listened to. It's being listened to. What I'm putting out right now is being listened to. So everything I'm saying, this is why I spent so many years not talking on the internet, because I was always like, I'm not putting my battle plan out there for them to just counteract it. But I learned how to speak online. Let's just say that. Right, I'm not gonna people. This is the way I figured it out, so they could counteract that. Um, but you putting it out there, man. You putting it out there in the air, and then the prince of the air listens, and then you start getting fed that distraction. So what you do, you write it on paper. Why are you writing it on paper? Because when you're writing it on paper, you have lead hitting wood. Get yourself a lead pencil, like I said. And paper is made from wood. So imagine this, something you really want to do or something that's really precious to you. If you did a ritual where you carved that thing into a tree, you would think that it's going to do something. Because I mean, I just carved this thing into a tree. Now, what if I filled that with lead? What does lead do? Lead weighs things down. Lead weighs things down, right? So it makes things, when you're weighing things down, you're pulling them from heaven to earth. That's the symbology of that. Just like blood brings things from heaven to earth, and then there's things that lift things from earth to heaven, right? But I'm going to use this lead, and it's going to go from here down here through the heart, through my hand, onto the wood, onto the earth. Right? I'm going to make it real. I'm going to carve it. Because when you're writing, you carving, you know. I'm going to carve into this wood, which we call a piece of paper. And I'm going to carve what my daily battle plan is going to be. And now it's real. And I'm one who uses a lot of digital organizers, so kind of contradictory, right? But I also use paper, right? We're in a time now where we receive a lot of junk mail still. So what I do is I take the envelopes from the junk mail and I cut them and I save them, right? So I throw out the credit card offers, or when I always get a lot of offers for credit cards, or like car financing and stuff. It's just junk. Spectrum wants to be your cable provider. You know, all that kind of stuff. I haven't had TV since 2007, 2008, since Obama got in. When they did the digital boxes, I cut all my stuff off. So I ain't had nothing since then. So I don't need any of that. But I thank you for the envelope. I appreciate the envelope. So I take the envelopes, I cut them, and I have stacks of them. So that's the paper that I use, right? And then sometimes I anoint the paper. There's different things that I do. We ain't gonna get on because this ain't a ritual class, right? But I keep pencils, right? I keep pencils. And battle plan, I'm carving lead into the wood, carving lead into the earth. That's what you got to start doing. No, you don't have to start doing it, but try it. See what happens. It may help you out. Our young and destroyed our TV. Good. You got some rambunctious. I know every time there's only one word I ever use with your children is Sequoia, and that's rambunctious. Them boys, boy. Oh, good lord. Energy. I didn't have energy. I've always been a pretty kind of low energy kind of person, you know. But yeah, that's what you do. You start making it real in that way, because you giving everything to the prince of the air. They know what you like because you click like on all the pictures, and hey, peace, brother Dean. um, you click. Yeah, I'm looking at. If you hear all them clicks that's going on, that's actually the Anu folks in their chat saying good dawning to each other. That's just what I was just talking about. You know, they're greeting each other. I love it. I love it. The brotherhood, the sisterhood, the community, the family. They're building circles of trust among each other, you know, and removing all of the usury. That's a process. That's a process. We ain't gonna get into that. But anyway, so yeah, man, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna command our day every day, but it's gonna be earlier. So it's Eastern time zone. It's like 8:30 right now. So it's late. So we need to command our day before you, because some of you are working from home before you log in. You know, so uh, I'm not gonna give you a time yet, but it's gonna be earlier than today. And whoever I catch, I catch. Whoever I don't, I don't. It's cool. You know what I mean? It's all good. Um, but I know a lot of you need it, and I'm gonna be here to do it for as long as the spirit tells me to. And I'm gonna go do something else. As the spirit tells me to do, you know. But I know you need it, man. Hey, peace, Omega. I was just thinking about you the other day, huh? And there you is, you know. But because I was in your town. But is it also good to write in pencil when taking notes for study purposes? Try it out. Try it out. What do you want to make real? You know, that's what it really comes down to. What do you want to make real? You know, like I said, there's a path. The hand of God. Then the hand of God touches the earth and creation begins. You know, or you could put it in your phone or, you know, your tablet. You can do that too. You know what I mean? But where is it? Where is it real? Is it real in the cyber world, or is it real in the world that you're trying to actuate and affect change? Try different things out. You know, experiment a little bit, and then see what works for you. You might decide, man, I don't like writing in pencil. I haven't done it in so long. I can't even read my own handwriting. You know, that part of my brain, that handwriting by hand activates, is now dead. I've killed a part of my brain because of the convenience of writing shorthand text. In fact, I don't even know how to write words anymore now. I just know how to write. If I want to say I don't know, I say ION. I don't know. You know, all that dumbness. You know, now I'm sounding like the grumpy old man. But but sometimes again, that prince of the air is a tricky one. You gotta be careful what comes out of your mouth, and that's why telepathic and latent communication is so valuable among those who have souls and who are connected via the same community activity, rights, and hierarchy. It's very valuable, you know, because you start speaking and the prince starts to fulfill in a very latent way, because what's being fulfilled is never through the spirit. It's being fulfilled through the flesh energy. You know what I mean? So you're thinking you're getting a family. Like you might say, man, I want a family so bad, man. I want a family. You know, I just want a white picket fence and a dog and a Volvo. I want one Volvo and one Honda Civic. You know, my wife would drive the Civic, I'll drive the Volvo. You know, and I just want, you know, at least 2, 3 children, and I want carpet on my steps, and you know what I'm saying? You might just like have this whole vision of what you want, and those things will start to be fulfilled, but you won't realize that they're hollow because you keep talking about want and desire. So when you're saying want and desire, you're speaking from your lower chakras. You haven't claimed the day to say, this is what it is today. This is what it is today. You're not directing your day, you know, and a lot of your social media meanderings are just that: a lot of wants, a lot of thirst, a lot of attention whoring, a lot of attention whoring, you know, and you're getting it fulfilled. But how are you getting it fulfilled? Digitally. That's not real. That's not real attention being really truly being attended to. You see how the prince fulfills things. You see, it's tricky. It's tricky. You got to be able to distinguish between the two, or distinguish between what's real and what's fake. All right, so I'm gonna head out. Um, I didn't want it to be so long. but we had a problem with the connection earlier. And cool, YG Gut. I'm glad. You said you definitely needed this. Yeah, well, there's more to come. Like I said, a lot of people need it. Catches people are looking bad out here right now, and I see the lack of direction. Um, a lot of people have even stopped stocking up on food. Who's who told you to stop? I told you hard commodities. I didn't come out and say, okay, you good, you safe now. I didn't. Nobody told you to stop. You still need the rice and beans and the batteries and the knives and the other things that you need in the water. Anybody told you to stop? And no one who cares about you told you to stop. Let me just put it that way. So like I said, I know a lot of people. Peace, Sherelle Cunningham. You if I said that correctly, I might not have. I'm sorry if I didn't. Um, every time I go to the store, I get something from the store. Good to O2 store. That's good, Aquia. That's good. Um, there's a. I was gonna say something funny. Let me leave it alone. But yeah, man, we need to start aligning early. That's where you're getting caught. I know a lot of you sleep with your phones. As soon as you wake up, you know, and you're feeding the matrix. Because like I said before, you made the matrix. You keep talking about Illuminati. You made the freaking matrix. They didn't make it. You made it. They just put a platform in front of you, and you started pouring you started dumping your consciousness inside of it. It's like the movie Transcendence. You put your whole consciousness into social media. They don't really need you that much anymore. Everything is there now, because a lot of you are not evolving, so your thoughts and your actions are pretty redundant. It's pretty repetitive. So once they get you for about a year, maybe 2 years, they can predict what you are, who you are, what you're gonna do. You know. So you've made the matrix. So now what we're gonna do, we're going to take it old school as much as we can, because we still on social media. This is considered social media, but we're gonna have to take it old school. We're gonna wake up early. We're gonna command what the day is gonna be. We're gonna push back any harmful energy. Fase, where you been? Um, we're gonna push back any injurious energy that may be coming to us. And the most important thing, we're gonna make sure that our houses are open. We want our houses wide open early in the dawning. Now, what do I mean by houses wide open? Dad, this is almost like 50 minutes, man. I ain't really mean to go this long, but um, you have different houses in your life. You have houses of wisdom, you have houses of wealth, you have houses of serenity, you have houses of patience, but essentially your houses of fortune. And they already exist, because remember, the manifestation of what you wanted is not dependent upon time. It's only dependent on your ability to see it. So when you see it here, you see it here. When you see it here, you see it here. Or when you see it here, forget the two, because you got it. It's like the Book of Thomas when it talks about the one eye. I will polish the one lamp of God. When you see it here, you see it here. Then you get to touch it, right? So with that in place, and that idea prevalent, um, you have to be able to visualize things before anyone else gets to it, of course. But you got to be able to bring this thing online early. That's what it is. We got to bring this thing online as early as we can, before we start getting bombarded with the ads. And you can make 6 day on Amazon.com. Join my masterclass for just only $97, and the nonsense. Before you start to get bombarded with the nonsense, man, um, you got to bring that messianic energy online, because when you're able to do that, then you'll see your nation. Your nation is not just held and contained within tradition. Tradition is tradition is almost as bad as family. And I hope you understand what I'm saying. If you've heard me in the past say family is the worst thing going, natural family can be the worst thing going sometimes. They're the first ones to tell you whatever you do or you ain't doing. Oh, you ain't doing nothing. you know. But tradition is the first thing to tell you to keep doing something because of the authority and, like I said, the tenacity of the thing. This is what we've been doing. We do this because we've been doing it. Whether it's killing me or not, this is what we've been doing, right? So when you're able to rise with those who are in your nation or those of your nation, that comes because this thing is rising. And everyone who has that active and pure thought stream and cognition, they connect. It's almost like a grid, and they see each other. Ooh, oh. But it doesn't come through information and tradition. So you might have certain people who you could listen to first thing you're doing. Oh, they breaking this down, they breaking that down. But notice all that stuff you're listening to that people are breaking down, breaking down. Even me myself, maybe you might have heard me break some stuff down. But notice your life ain't really changing that much. It doesn't take that long. I mean, this is if your life is in the dumps and you're exposed to some powerful, effective wisdom, it doesn't take longer than a season to stabilize. A season is 3 months to stabilize. It's not a 10-year thing. Yeah, I used to go to Dr. Clark's lectures back in the 80s. You know what I mean? And I'm still just trying to figure it all out. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're a clown. You're not trying to figure anything out. You know, you just don't want to be called unconscious. You want to be able to say, I know about. I'm woke. You want to be able to say that. But I know that there's a lot of folk out here, like I said, who are directionless, and truthfully, y'all don't like to admit it, but there's a lot of loneliness. I know that a lot of you are lonely, um, because you're not connecting with any other eyes. You're a single lone eye, and it's barely peeking up. It's trying to light up, but nobody's hitting it with a spark. Boom. People may be sparking your ego with a bunch of useless information. That spark may be happening, but no one's actually sparking your real self to step forward and to make itself known. And we got to start sparking here and start sparking in that solar plexus, right? That solar chakra, because you know you have the correlations there, man. I mean, really, your correlation would be between your iwaju, or your first eye, your pineal, and your sacral chakra. Those two, right? A lot of times we skip this for pleasure, you know. Just like our correlation would be between our solar chakra and our throat chakra, right? You know, Now why correlation? Because in the middle sits the heart chakra. So if you go one up from the heart chakra, you get the throat chakra. If you go one down from the heart chakra, you get the solar chakra, right? So one up, one down, those two match. So that would be throat, solar. Speaking abstract ideas into existence, projecting my true self into existence. You see? Then you go two up from the heart, what would be here and here. You have your first eye, and then you have your sacral. I'm grabbing my genital now. I'm joking, but you have here, and then your sacral, which is in your genitals, right? And then if you go three up, right, you have your crown chakra and you have your root chakra. So that one up, two up, three up, those they correlate with each other. Now you may say, what's the correlation for the heart chakra? There is no correlation for the heart chakra. That's why it's indifferent, because it doesn't deal with duality. It just deals with a oneness of indifference. You know, it's like the central fulcrum point of a scale. You see, and we have to balance our scales, man. We got to balance our scales ourselves early in the dawning. We got to balance our scales ourselves, man. So I know it's needed, man, and I'm gonna make myself available for it as best I can. As best I can. I'm gonna try to be as consistent as which those of you follow me, yeah, he always say he gonna do something, and he'll do it for four times, and then we don't see him for 5 months. Hey man, I'm busy. I'm progressive. I'm not busy. I'm progressive. I got a lot of stuff going on. And by the grace of the Almighty Creator, originator of supreme thought, I'm able to keep it all sustained. Because to be honest with you, I don't even know how I do it. I keep it real with you. I feel like in some ways I've rewound time on myself. When I was much younger, at one point I was taking 12 credits in school when I was going for my undergrad, and I took 12 credits and worked 4 jobs. 4 jobs. One of them I owned. I owned the barbershop. I was doing personal security. I worked in a furniture store, stripping furniture. I used to actually refinish, redo antique furniture. And then I had another job I ain't gonna tell you all about. But I had 4 jobs. I had 4 jobs, and taking 12 credits at the same time. I was in school at that time for electrical engineering. Um, and I didn't have a car. My car got stolen. That's the other part of this thing. My car had gotten stolen. I had no car, and I was doing all of this via public transportation. I don't remember sleeping. I don't remember how I did it. I just did it, and It feels like I'm in that space. I've been in that space again, probably the last 3 to 4 years. Last 3 to 4 years with just getting it done and not knowing how it's getting done, and people saying, "Yo, where do you find the time?" I don't know. I don't know. I think sometimes I'm astral projecting solid figures next to me because, like I said, I always have 3 or 4 machines. I got 3 screens in front of me right now, another one over there charging, and I'm all day I'm active on all of them, right? And then I'm also doing other work. Then I'm up and I'm moving. I'm doing a lot of physical things, and I'm on the phone doing consultations, then meeting with people and working with this and doing that, and all day. But I think what's happening is I'm projecting parts of myself. So even though in my finite 3 dimensional mind, I'm conceptualizing that my these 2 hands are going here and here, and I'm on the phone. And that's not actually what's happening. There's probably 5 of us here. That's what's really happening. And if we had the type of equipment where we could record it, we'd probably see 5 astral bodies. One's on the phone cursing somebody out. What the f did I tell you? I told you can't mix that with that. And then the other one is, yeah, yeah, consoling someone, and then the other one is, trying to get this money. The other one is day trading. The other one is looking how Ethereum just dropped again. I think Ethereum's going to go below $10,000, man. But it'll go back up. It'll go back up. But man, this was a bad strong hit for Ethereum. You know, um, but one is looking at their crypto exchanges and doing mining and right. That's what I think. That's what I suspect. But anyway, so I'm gonna get off of this thing because I've been sitting too long and I'm you know um, yeah, everything's numbing out down there. All right, so like I said, we're gonna daily. I'm gonna hit you up. I'll return tomorrow morning. We'll try it again, and hopefully, um, the connections and everything will be cool. But even if my connection is not good, if I woke you up and got you thinking, as far as commanding your day, that's good too. You don't have to listen to me. Once you hear that, I'm punching stuff. See what I'm saying? I'm not good with this, man. I'm too physical. Like a wrestler. Shaking everything. But let me keep my hands up. But once you uh, get into the habit of commanding your day, you know, you're gonna grow leaps and bounds, man. I'm telling you, you're gonna grow leaps and bounds. You set your own agenda, you set your own schedule, and I'll help you with it. We're gonna do it together here. I'll help you with it. Because you can't keep relying on these folks' schedule, man. These folks, their time is winding down. The balance of power is shifting now, man, and you can't keep relying on these people to direct what should be. Oh, I got my 401k here, and at this age, I'm going to get this in my Social Security, and then next year I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to go to this school for 4 years, and then I'm going to go. this school for 2 years and get my master's, and after I get my master's, I'm gonna. Nah, man. Time is fluid. Time is dynamic as anything else, and values are also dynamic. Morals are also dynamic. I mean, you all know that pedophilia is going to be it's going to be totally legal and permissible soon. You know, all of those things are dynamic changes and a devolving of a system that many of you are still timing yourself by, and you can't do that anymore. So that's the little bit that I can do. You know, I'll try to help you with that, well, I'm not gonna try because I don't be trying nothing, but I'll do it, and you could take it or you could leave it. But I promise you, you just get up early. Even if I'm background noise, you ain't gotta listen to me. Even if I'm background noise, you're like, okay, well, I know Chief commands the day every day at 6 a.m. I'm up, turn Chief on. Let me pull out my paper bag. I went and I saw some children walking to school, and I grabbed their lunch, whatever, dumped the lunch out, took the bags because I couldn't afford no paper bags right now. So it's like robbing bags from a baby. So I got my paper bag here. Went into Family Dollar, swiped a couple of number two pencils. You know what I mean? I'm ready to rock. So Chief might be the background noise, but I'm over here. Battle plan, battle plan. Boom, 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 boom. And you're gonna start finding that instead of like DD Alchemy, like you said, you know, it's a daily battle. You're gonna start realizing after a while, man, it's like a daily victory. And everything that's happening that I'm perceiving as being harmful and injurious, like it's working towards what I'm working towards. Like this is all working in my favor. Like it's a daily victory. Even if it seems like I lose a battle, that's not a battle I should have won. That battle should have been lost. You know, because ultimately I'm looking at the long term where I'm going. And you know what? That's going to separate you from a lot of the people who would seek to be vampirical with you, who would seek to suck your energy. A lot of them, they don't have long term sight. They can't see that far because they know they're not even supposed to have gotten this far. You know, it's just like when you're in a relationship. A lot of times when you're in a relationship with a vampire, they don't really have any real long term plans in the relationship. They just happy that you came around. They happy that every day you came back. You open the door, they're like, "Hey, how was your day?" Because they like, "Damn, you another 24, you fell for it." So there's really no long term plans in that sense, um, because they know they wasn't even supposed to be there as long as they are, right? So that's what's going to separate you from that kind of energy as well. Because if you have the ability to construct and design, then you can say, "Yeah, I'm going to build a mountain. Yeah, I'm gonna, you know, it's gonna be a purple sunset a couple of days from now. This is what it's gonna be, and you start. I know what I'm saying. It sounds extreme and crazy, but just, you know, you got to be a little crazy to navigate around institutionalized insanity. You know, so you start saying, no, this is what I'm designing. This is what it's gonna be. Here's my battle plan, and you start chopping up things into smaller pieces. If you have a garage that you want to turn into a workout room because you're like, I don't want to go back to the gym anymore because it's just not a hygienic environment, or maybe I'm a female and I want to be able to work out in my panties, and I know it's not really appropriate for me to go in there dressed a certain way because they have so many laws that they're passing now, and you got so many deviants that are feeling bold to do something perverted to me. So maybe, hey, I'm gonna get a trainer, and the trainer can come to my house, and you might say all I got to do is clean this garage out or clean this room out. Well, every day I'll do a little bit, and when you plan it out, let's say, hey, I'm gonna give myself 30 days to clean out this garage. You may find that I'm bodybuilding at home and it's a battle every day. DD Alchemy. Well, it's a war. And if you're doing it, if you're bodybuilding, think about the word you just said, bodybuilding. You're winning already. And you know why you're winning already, DD Alchemy? Because when you're bodybuilding is much different than working out, as I'm sure you probably know. But bodybuilding, one of the things that you're looking to achieve is symmetry. So in order to achieve symmetry, you have to you have to take personal inventory. Okay, my legs always blow up quick, but I got little arms, or I got big arms, but I got a small chest, or or whatever you just go through, or maybe I had a couple of children, and I'm always gonna have this little pouch, but it's okay because I can work around it, right? Um, that's a part of commanding. That's like you're commanding your body. Like we're gonna command some symmetry out of you. It's a little different than working out. You see, so you're already you're already war-minded. You probably just didn't even know. You're not just because this is the second time you jumped in the chat and used the word battle. I'll give that to you, battle, but you just said you body build. That means you build. You already know in your mind what you want to look like. You see, you're already commanding it. And again, you're saying, and it's going to be balanced. I'm going to balance my scales. I'm not going to have my left arm bigger than my right arm, or I'm not going to have little tiny calves and humongous quads. I'm not doing that because I'm bodybuilding. I'm seeking for symmetry. You have to look at the same thing in your life. Every day when you work up, it's not just about I'm gonna light some candles and burn some incense and talk to my egun. That's cool. Okay, you can do that. Did you check your account balances today? Did you look at your project plan for your escape plan? Because remember, you're moving towards entrepreneurship. You can't rely on these people. Are your food stores stacked? Did you check and see? Okay, look at that bag of beans that you saw last night before you went to bed when it looked like there was a rip in it. Do you got mice? Do you have mice in your supply? Look around your things for droppings. You know, every single day, what is it that? And sometimes again, what might be on your battle plan? Call my uncle, check on my aunt, send my son a text, or whatever it is. That's a part of not only maintaining your sanity, but remembering what you're battling and fighting for to begin with. You ain't just battling and fighting the fighting. We're fighting for peace. We're going to war for peace. So um, some of those things you have to start instituting. Like I said, you get your paper, you get your pencil, you start putting it down, and watch. Things are gonna flip. Things are gonna flip for you. All right, 67 minutes. Come on, guys. This is this is excessive. All right. So I'm gonna get moving on my day, which is now it's a little bit delayed. You know, um, but that's okay. I'm looking at emails already. See, I'm always doing more than one thing already. I'm already seeing something stupid already. But see, before I looked at the stupidness, I got to talk to you about some intelligence. You see what I mean? This is what we mean by we command the day, and it puts everything else in proper perspective. Puts everything else in proper perspective. That's what we need to start doing. Put things in perspective. All right, everyone. Let me get on out of here. Every time I do these lives, I don't know where the button is to end it, and I think I'll be sitting here looking like a moron. But and YG gotta give thanks. You're more than welcome, man. For everybody who's gonna ride with us for as long as we need to ride for. Give thanks, man. Make sure you're encouraging each other, and make sure you're owning today, man. Don't let the day own you, man. Don't be a what's the word? Don't be a recessive to the day. Okay, don't be a recessive to the day. Um, you command the day, and you could start now. You could practice just by commanding one thing. You don't have to get too complicated with it yet. One thing that you're gonna make move today. One power move. One. Maybe you need to clean out your refrigerator. Maybe your refrigerator stinks. Maybe you've been thinking about uploading some new YouTube videos. You got a YouTube show, and the ones you upload before sucked, and you need to take them down and do it properly. Maybe it's that. Maybe you need to go on LinkedIn and actually fill out your bio, because like my bio is from like 10 years ago. That's on my battle plan. I just haven't gotten to it yet. You know, and I need to change that stupid picture I got up there with sunglasses. I don't really take pictures, so um, see, I'm telling you my side. For me, I'm doing the same thing y'all do. I'm working through it just like y'all work through. My LinkedIn sucks. Um, I'm still restricted on IG, so everybody keeps clicking my link and saying, "Yo, your link tree doesn't work." The link tree works. It's just IG restricted me. My Facebook is ridiculously outdated. Um, my Twitter profile image sucks. What else sucks in my life? I had a couple things. Um, I got some clothes I need to donate. You know what I mean? I got some things on my list too, man. You ain't the only one. In fact, as I'm looking around, I got candles on my altar that been burnt out, and I'm using them as incense holders. But I need to just put the incense holders on the shrine instead of using old little pieces of old candle. That see what I mean? I'm looking at it right here. Like we yeah, we all got our things to yeah, we all got things. Yeah, I got a Coach money clip over there sitting there. For what reason I don't know. Why do I? Why do I got a Coach money clip? You know what I mean? This ain't paid in full. You know what I mean? I ain't get rid of the Coach money clip. You know what I mean? I don't even carry my money like that. You know, and we all got stuff that we need to work on. All right. So I will see you all tomorrow. It will be a shorter segment, and I'm gonna keep talking until I find this end button. I hate this stupid thing. I'm just gonna hit the X button, and hopefully that ends the live, and y'all not gonna see me moving around and walking around. All right, everyone. Enjoy your day, and more importantly, command your day.